Hello, I'm Peter Delmar, publisher of It's My Business, the small business supplement in the Sunday Times. Franchising is a very important and growing part of the small business landscape. With me today is Brenda McQueen, who knows all about franchising. Brenda, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Peter.
Why is franchising such a big deal?
One of the main important reasons is people are not skilled at school in how to get into business for themselves. So we don't learn about how to run a cash book, how to look after your debtors, how to compile an income statement at the end of the month, and in fact even how to go and get customers and look after those customers. So franchising, we have an experienced franchisor who's done that many times, maybe 20 times, maybe 420 times, and so they have got that proven concept, and then we buy into that concept and we rent their know-how. So it's a perfect match for an inexperienced business person with the experienced franchisor who's got the concept and the business management training, etc. So it allows a normal person to go into business for themselves.
Is franchising then a surefire recipe for business success?
Not every franchise works. I know many franchisees who've put their life savings into a franchise, and for a couple of about 55 years old, they really have taken their life savings and their pension and they've sunk it into this business, and it can go wrong. Our research shows that only about 12% of franchises close down, whereas if you opened Peter's Burgers, unless you were really sexy in the town and they knew what you were doing and you could get a following very quickly, you would probably go bust. About 80% of people opening independent businesses will go bust. The franchisor will charge you an upfront fee, which is quite a big sum of money. It could be between 40,000 and as much as 500,000, and that is for their intellectual property and what they've learned and all the mistakes they've made and every rand that they've invested in their brand, making their brand big. So the reason you should be happy to pay that is because it should propel you to success quicker than Peter's Burgers. So Peter's Burgers, you could trundle along while you become known in the town, and if you've got money to wait that long, paying a franchise, yes, you pay the fees, and yes, you pay horrible ongoing royalties on a monthly basis, but it gets you to break even a lot quicker than if you didn't have that branded name. So we always say, if you've got pockets of money like Richard Branson, don't go with the franchise, go and do it yourself and see if Peter's Burgers works. If you haven't got that and you really need this to work, which most of us do, you've taken your life savings, then rather go with the franchise. But please make sure it's a franchise that you can really hand on heart say that most of them work.
But that's what I wanted to ask you about. You're talking about people putting their life savings into a franchise. What about young people who don't have life savings? Well,
that's what I always say to matriculants. It's a little bit like what old Robert Kiyosaki says, rich dad, poor dad. He says, don't tell your children to go and invest in a car. The first thing they want to do when they leave school is they want to go and get a car. The car is not an asset at all. It's an absolute liability and it's going to drain them. So rather, put that money into a little franchise. You can buy a multi-serve franchise for 85,000 Rand today. Now that's hills, it's keys, it's hiring a rug cleaning, carpet cleaning equipment, etc. And the bank will loan you up to half. So now you only need about 40,000. So we always say, start small. Say to your son, I'm not buying you a motor car, but I will help you buy a little business. And that little business will one day buy him his motor car. There are some wonderful BE opportunities with, like the multi-serve brands, where the person today, having been a cobbler, had now owned his own multi-serve and then grew and now owns 3 multi-serves. So yes, it's not going to be a wonderful return that you might be getting on those superior sophisticated franchises, but from earning 4,000 Rand a month max, he's probably now getting at least 8 per store and in 3 stores. So he's got a 24,000 Rand a month income. And that's just what will really contribute to changing the face of our unemployment crisis, etc.